It's Sunday, September the 1st, and Mr. Jones back again, just to bring you up to date with the challenge of single-handedly restoring my old Victorian house. I've obviously shown lots of videos about my conservatory roof, and I'm sitting in my favourite place, up on the new conservatory roof. It is, to all intents and purposes, finished. The flashing is done. I've got a few hip tiles to go on and a little bit of work to do on the ridge. I just need to order some more materials, but the rest of it is done. All the guttering on, everything. I'm so happy with it, and I'll be working on the interior going forwards. So in my last video I showed video and photographs of my garage roof, which I intend to put solar panels on. So now you can see behind me I have removed the tiles off one side, and I've covered it with board, and the intent is to put 6 Viridian solar panels on there in portrait mode, so they'll pretty much fill the vertical space. So I'm not too sure how it's going to work, so I'm going to do one as a trial. I have a concern that the water coming off the panels may come off rather quickly and overshoot the gutter. And I'm also going to try something rather different. I do not want to use the flashing kits that come with the Viridian panels. They cost the same money in the end as the panels themselves. It's just craziness. So for the garage and the shed behind me, I'm going to use a system. I'm going to use EPDM to cover the roof first, and that will also be underneath the panels. And then the cables will go down through electrical glands, which are watertight, into the garage below. But in case any water does get in around the frame of the in-roof solar panels, I'll cut some grooves at the bottom so that the water can escape. But to add to the complexity, Mrs. Jones likes them to be not just sitting flat, she likes them to appear actually level with the tiles. And that's what I did on the side of the house, and they look beautiful. So I'm going to have to find a way to create that on the garage roof as well. I did it on the side roof by using battens but old-fashioned tiles. I don't like the idea of putting battens on this roof, so I'm probably going to raise it slightly with another layer of maybe insulated board to raise the area around the panels. And then I will use the same Tapco tiles that I used on the conservatory. I can't say good enough things about these Tapco tiles. The only thing I will say about them, they're so light, they look real, they're excellent, they're great to work with, they cut easily. But the one thing I have learned, you have to get the surface underneath absolutely flat. Any undulation, it becomes, from certain angles at least, very obvious. When I did this, I managed to get the front, the bits and the sides, which is the only visible areas, extremely flat, and I'm very happy with it. The other thing about single-handed work in particular, single-handed DIY, I underestimated how difficult it was going to be taking off the roof. I didn't want to throw them down off the roof and break them and make a huge mess, so I literally hand carried them all down. The ridge tiles, they were a two-handed job, so I underestimated how long it would take to strip the roof off, and I did it in sections as well, trying to keep it relatively watertight. That was a major job, and I didn't also anticipate the fact that the gable end walls are not level, so there's a slight uptick, and it's still there now, so I need to work on that now. I need to get that flat, otherwise it'll be very visible through the Tapco tiles. So I'm going to work on that, and I am going to put on a membrane just as a temporary basis for waterproofing, because it's September. The forecast says there could be some thunderstorms, etc., so I'm going to work on that. So today I've got to get the gable end sorted, and I'm going to put on a membrane, and I'm going to try one panel on there to see how it looks, and then if it does work, I'm going to have from the left to right a 1 meter gap. Then it'll be 2 meters of panels. 2 panels come to 2 meters, a 1 meter gap, 2 panels, 1 meter gap, 2 panels, up to the end, all symmetrical. And I'm hoping that will look quite good with the Tapco tiles running up between them. However, as I said, the vertical space there will be mainly taken up with the panel, and there's only just enough room for a ridge tile. So I'll share with you how I do it. I haven't totally worked out how I'm getting this all watertight and flush as Mrs. Jones would like, but I will share that with you when I do it anyway. Okay, so I'll leave you now, and I'll better get down to my work, and I'll maybe post something else a little bit later.